Hey, what's up guys? Houston here, and I'm out on a field trip. Basically I decided to take myself on a field trip, and where I'm at a hatchery. Okay, and so this hatchery that I'm at is where they have trout. This is a trout hatchery, is what it is, and I want you all to check some of this out. Now, why I wanted to talk to you all, show you all that trout and stuff, I was going to talk to you all about Navy Federal, 5 things you need to do with Navy Federal. All right, now let's check this out. All right, let's talk about trout can live to 10 years and mature. So I know that has nothing to do with Navy Federal, but the thing about it, did y'all know that trout eat human flesh? That's something, and I'll show it to you as we go. But going back to Navy Federal, so check this out. So Navy Federal has this new system, okay? And so many of you all hear me talk about the internal system. Well, guess what? With this new system, guess what they're doing? They're calculating in your deposits, okay? If you don't have direct deposits, then you have to have at least 20 transactions to equal to direct deposits. Now, is that a good thing or a bad thing? Actually, it can be a good thing. Here's the thing about it. I continue to tell you to set up direct deposit with Navy Federal because of your internal score. All right, it's something that many of us that are entrepreneurs, we may not live by a 9 to 5, so we're probably using like W2 work, right? So what happens, and what I told you guys, is that we actually offer you free pay stubs and payroll up to 4 months. Okay, so that's one thing. But see how small it is. So when we first started, many of you may notice that I had started watching the trout swim the other way. But now they start swimming upstream, and then when they get to here, they'll start turning around. So turn around going the other way. So this is a section that goes along. So now these sea trout are swimming the same way. They're going this way, and then they have to turn around and go back this way. All right. But going back to the direct deposit, like I said, I was giving you all the 4 free months of direct deposit with a payroll and pay stubs. All right. Plus, we do you free credit repair evaluation. Plus, you get a free 30-minute consultation as well. Now, that being said, dealing with Navy Federal, again, Navy Federal internal score 100 to 450. This is so important because I told you, once you get to about 325, now they start to look at you different, all right? And so what I mean by different is because now they see that you're doing more transactions, and by you doing more transactions and everything, they're willing to trust you more, even if you have bad credit. So that's the reason I tell you that opening up a checking account and a savings account, then adding like that CD or money market account, these information you can get a bit bigger. So these are the ones that start to get bigger. So opening up the CD and the money market account, some people may open up a Roth IRA with them, but you are able to show that you want longevity with them. So that's the reason why I tell you guys is that dealing with Navy Federal, having multiple accounts, even with bad credit, is make it so much easier for you to get high limit credit cards. Now, many of you know that Navy Federal has has gotten rid of that end rewards, and now they just have the secured cash rewards. Man, look how many there is. That's a lot of fish. Now look at how dark they are. Look at how dark they are. They're dark, almost like a blackish gray. Right? But with the new secured Navy Federal Rewards card, it actually gives you 1% cash back. Now, I know that's not a lot, but at the same time, they're giving you 1% cash back. And you need to have at least $200 on it. After 90 days, they look at it so that you can possibly get a credit limit increase on that secured card. And then after 6 months, they see if they can unsecure it. And one of the biggest challenges with a lot of people is, we're going to go over here next, but this is just the different layers of them. Like, look at how big that one is. So we're going to look at the layers. Going back to what I was saying about Navy Federal with the secured cards and stuff like that. Okay. So, as I was saying, we're going to walk down here. As a matter of fact, I missed the opportunity. So as you go around, they have these buckets. So with these buckets, you're able to get fish food and you're able to feed them. So right here, when I had first came in the door, you see that bucket over there, that reddish bucket? That has fish food in it, and they'll allow you to feed the fish, right? Feed the trout. Okay. But going back to Navy Federal, as I was saying, that with the secured card, after 6 months, it becomes unsecured. Now, again, the challenging thing for a lot of people is that they say, well, it hasn't came unsecured. Well, if you go inside the app on your phone, okay, you update your address, update all your information, update your income, update your rental payments. So if your income has increased within that 6 months, you want to increase your income, all right, in the app, okay? I'll tell you another thing that will keep you from getting unsecured. Like if you have been late on a payment within that 6 months, that'll stop you from getting your card unsecured, okay? Now, here's the thing about it. Also, what would stop you from getting it unsecured, not only the late payments, like if you have new collections on your credit file. Look at it. Some of these. So having some of these other accounts, see how these birds are in here? That's the reason they have this net. It's a net over us, but the birds eat through the net. That's the reason they ask you to keep the gate closed, because the birds, when they come in, of course, what they're going to do, they're going to start eating the fish. So that's the reason they try to keep as many birds out of here as possible. So the thing about it, these are crows. These are baby crows. So with these baby crows, you know, they only eat dead stuff. Well, some of these are not baby crows. But look how those fish are. This is probably the easiest way to go fishing, huh? If you're a person that don't know how to fish and can't fish, this is probably the easiest way. Look at them jump up out of the water. This is probably the easiest way to go fishing. Now, down here is where we're going. You're going to see some of the bigger fish. So we have some over here, and I was going to just take my time. But both of them run the same way. But I wanted to show you this is on that side, okay? Because I'm going to ask you, would you eat these fish? And the reason is they're going to show you the actual process of them actually putting all the, giving the fish all the shots and stuff like that, that's a lot of fish. And so what they do, they sit there and they give you a shot with all these bacteria shots and stuff like that, so they don't carry germs. So when they release these fish back into the lake, you know, they don't get sick and they don't make other fish get sick as well. See where all those little babies were at down there? You can see that these are the bigger fish, bigger trout. And as you can see the more of the spots on the trouts, they're much bigger here. So when they get to this stage, this is the stage where they start putting them back into the water. How they respond. See, they swim up there. Some of them are trying to get on the other. Some of them, they swim fast and they don't swim over there. So that's what you may have some of them, like on this side, that are much bigger. Yeah. Let me get some food for them. Right. See this area? See how open it is? Watch this. This food smells like dog food. Things act like piranhas, boy. Look at them jumping up out of the water, boy. Alright, so going back to the 5 things I was telling you about the Navy Federal, opening up this checking account, the deposits, you know, making sure that you have that savings account. I'll tell you another thing, speaking of that savings account, guys, oh look, there's a dead fish here. If you can, make sure with the savings account, make sure you put at least $25 a week into it. Now, again, like I told you guys before, and you have real bad credit, then you have to use tribal lenders because those are the ones going to be most flexible. And I'll put a link below. But those are the ones that are most flexible in terms of working with you when you have low income, bad credit. All right, and then because they won't report that loan on your personal credit, and you won't get a hard pull on your credit, then taking that money and putting it into a secured credit card and a secured loan. Now, speaking of the secured loan, that pledge loan, even if you have good credit when going to Navy Federal, I would still say get the pledge loan because it's going to help with your internal score. All right, it doesn't help with you getting a personal loan, but it will help with the internal score. Yeah, it helps with the internal score, not the personal score, which many of you all are aware of. So let's go find the bigger fish, because they say it's bigger fish than these. Like these are. Okay. Ready, boy. here's some baby ones. Watch this. That. Look at these fish. And the thing about it, they start over here. Here's the thing about it. It's hatchery thing, right? Actually, that's even too bad. Here, let me show you. This here table is where they used to have it outside. Now they moved this here back here. And so this is like their conveyor belt, everything operates. But see how small these is? Look at how small it is. That's where they actually started. Going back to the Navy level, like I was saying, that the pledge load is definitely something that you need to have, right? And so, again, a lot of people, unfortunately, a lot of people may not be able to get in, and it's because they may not have military status. But one of the back door things is that if you share an address with somebody that's already in, then they will allow you to join, okay? So that's one of the best ways to get into Navy Federal, all right? So if you guys have any other questions about business credit funding, personal credit funding, removing negative items off the credit, click the link in the description, schedule a one-on-one coaching